The motion for today here at the debate circle is
lifestyle advertising aimed at youth should be regulated to prevent them from falling into debt traps. Opposing and proposing this motion is Vihiga High School versus Chavakali High School. Good luck to both teams.
It is said that a building is its foundation. If the foundation is weak, the building will be weak. And if the foundation is strong, then the building will be strong. Therefore, it's I, Jeremy Jacob, from the Great Chavakali, ready to lay a firm foundation in proposing that lifestyle advertising aimed at the youth should be regulated to prevent them from falling into debt traps. First, what is lifestyle? Lifestyle is the way a person lives, and advertisement. An advertisement is a notice or announcement in public medium promoting a product, service, event, or publicizing a job vacancy according to the Oxford Dictionary 11th edition each. Therefore, lifestyle advertising is the showcasing of the way in which people live or work on various platforms, e.g. television, internet, radios, and so forth. Debt traps. This is a situation in which someone owes money to a particular debtor and is unable to repay this deficit. The youth, according to the Kenyan institution, are the people who fall underneath the age gap of 18 to 35. And regulation is controlled by means of rules. So, simply put, we are supporting that lifestyle advertising that is aimed at the youth should be controlled by means of rules so that the youth don't fall into financial problems. I am aware that lifestyle advertising is not the only thing that leads youths to debt traps, but if we handle our problems one by one, we'll make Kenya great again. And it is regulation, not total eradication. My first point, psychological manipulation. Companies often use psychological tactics to push the agenda of their products. A very good example is the Apple company in making iPhones. They will bring a new phone, stating that the new features are something that you really need, pushing on your brain that I really need this and I have to buy it. And according to a research done by the Kenya Bureau of Statistics as at 2023, 5 in every 13 youths live in extreme poverty, representing 38.83% of the population. It is 5 out of 13 that are in extreme. So there are some that may be at just poverty. So if you see an advertisement and you want to buy the phone and you do not have money, you're going to either take a loan or use the little money you have to buy that phone, and you'll be sinking into debt traps. Point 2, appeal to emotion. Luxury brands often appeal to the emotion of the youths. They target these youths who have low self-esteem and depression. For example, luxury brands like fragrances. An example is Versace. You'll see that in their advertisements, they claim that maybe a person is not using the fragrance, something is not going well for him, but then after using the fragrance, the person has everything going well for him. And because of this, someone would want to buy this to increase his self-esteem. And having said all of that, I hope that you'll support us in proposing this motion. Thank you.
You all know, a journey of 1,000 miles begin with one step. I'm gonna take you towards that one step, hoping we're going to complete the journey together. That is why I, the sophisticated dramatic viper, all the way from Vihiga High, stand here strongly to contradict the motion that says lifestyle advertising aimed at the youth should be regulated to prevent them from falling into debt traps. Before we continue with our sweet arguments, it's my task to ensure that every dynamic, magnanimous philosopher in this house is at par with this motion. Let's kick in. Lifestyle advertising, in reference to Google, it's the act of showing a person or a group of people the way in which a group of people live or work. A youth, according to the Kenyan Constitution 2010, it clearly states that a youth is any person between the age bracket of 18 to 35. Regulated is to control something by the use of measures or rules. And finally, debt traps, the situation of owing money, especially when you're not able to pay. Lifestyle advertising targets young consumers by promoting a desired way of living due to consumption of some goods and services. We all know that this type of advertising, the lifestyle of some people, is really good for a company, let's say like Samsung. A person uses that product and is persuading the other person to come and buy that product, telling him that he needs that item or specific thing. On to my first point. Why regulate this thing? Why regulate lifestyle advertisements while education is a better alternative? Well, you educate these people on how to spend their money, educate them on the harms of getting into debts so as to acquire something for luxury, will make them to be aware and informed. No matter how crucial or bad the lifestyle advertisement is, the person will be aware of not falling into that debt trap, going to that bank, borrowing that money, so as to go and acquire that item. They'll be aware. That is why our Kenyan government, till the current state, our high school curriculum is instilled a subject known as business studies. Business studies will equip this learner with the skills of making informed information on how to spend his or her money, knowing the essential needs such as food, water, shelters, and even clothing, instead of going to luxurious things in which will lead him to debt traps. You all know that education is the best weapon to change the world. So let's use it wisely. Thank you.
As it is said throughout history, raise your points and not your voice. After all, it is those that bark that scarcely bite. And that's why I, Deacon Zwakulima from the great Chavakali High, I'm here to firmly propose to this motion on the table. First, I'd like to start by thanking the first speaker for the clear and very good definition of the motion, but I'll have to disagree on you with something. You spoke of education on harm of getting into debt traps. Well, let me enlighten you with some of my knowledge. According to the Kenya National Bureau of Statistics, 17% of high schools and universities in the country actually have happened to take students and pupils who actually take business studies, leaving the 82% without knowledge on financial literacy. And that's what takes me to my first point, which is financial illiteracy deficits. Actually, the advertisements take advantage of our people, our youth, for their lack of illiteracy. And remember, only 17% is knowledgeable of financial illiteracy, 82 blank. It exploits the vulnerabilities of youth to discern between needs and wants, financial consequences of their spending decisions. So, these people actually take advantage of our people for their lack of literacy in financial issues. And this is why our people are now succumbing to certain debts. Now, just to add on that, according to Statista, 165 million youths of the year between 2020 to 2023 have fell into poverty, a courtesy of lifestyle advertisements, leading to a total of $18.7 billion worth of debt. This is still a courtesy of lifestyle advertising. I don't know why we should really look upon this. Well, it is one of the core, in fact, the core leading issue that has led our youths to fall into great depths. And that's why I say, join me, everyone, let us fight this. Because after all, birds happen to seek shelter when it rains, but the eagles fly ahead and go above the clouds to find a better solution. Let me tell you guys, let us join arms and find a way, a better way of actually coming up with a solution to beat this, which is not restricting, but reducing on their lifestyles advertisements for a better tomorrow. I rest my case.
Wow, wow, wow. I really appreciate you. You have done some really good research, but you know you are not really understanding the motion. Because I really remember the great words of Dalai Lama that stated that in every advantage, there is a corresponding disadvantage. And that's why I, Umudi Jubilee, from the Team Vipers, came all the way from Vihiga to oppose the motion that says lifestyle advertisement aimed at youth should be regulated to avoid youth to fall into debt traps. Before I take flight with my points, I came here this morning super conscientiously, expenditiously mood. But when my dynamic, magnificent philosophers took the stage with nothing but treacherous, diminutive fallacies that made the mood somber, filled with melancholy. If I look at my temporal chronicle indicator, I have no time to circumnavigate around things that are not real. But don't worry, I am here for you to remove the blindfolds that you're putting on and to show you the real way. Now feast on real facts. Diving with my first point, youths make their own decisions. You see, when a youth, before a child reaches the youth stage, a parent tries each and everything to give the child a good foundation. So it is not lifestyle advertisement that tells the youth, go and take this debt and buy this phone. No, not really. But it is the decision of the youth. I can see something on TikTok, Instagram, or even X, and I say that, hey, I don't have money. Why should I struggle when I know that I don't have money? For example, as my speaker once said, business studies is introduced in order to teach us on how to deal with such things. And that's where the decision of the youth comes. It's not the lifestyle advertisement that tells the youth, go and take the debt from the bank and buy me. I'm sorry. Diving with my second point, lifestyle advertisement is a motivational tool. Let's say all of us knows that each and every youth uses a lot of percentage of their time on software medias, right? TikTok, X, Instagram, each and every person wastes their times there. So I can, for example, I see Diamond Platinum there with his Land Cruiser, with his magnificent house. And I say, man, I want to be like that guy. That motivates me. That gives me the power to work hard, to get this money, and to be like this person. Moving with my third point, lifestyle posters have a purpose of posting these things. Okay, so 95% of lifestyle posters post these things of economical use. They don't really aim the youth. They don't really. Some of these companies have their work of advertising the products of other companies in order for them to earn. So I don't know how. I think, let me just say, you have not understood the motion. I can urge you, please, go and do some more research. Because even the Holy Bible says that an idle mind is the devil's workshop. So those are the wise scribbles of Moody Jubilee. It has been I, the conscious manglatory formulation. Oops, I just happened to be Moody Jubilee. Gratitude. Rest. The case is rested, but I don't see what case to rest. Thank you.
Round of applause. Team Proposition, Speaker 3, you have 3 minutes.
A journey of 1,000 miles begins in one step. I agree with the first speaker, Team Opposition. But let me say this. What are our 1,000 miles? Our 1,000 miles are the debt traps. And what is our first step? Our first step is dealing with one of the causes of the debt traps, which is lifestyle advertisement. I, from the great Chavakali Abdul Majid Yusuf, here to propose the motion that states lifestyle advertisement aimed at the youth should be regulated to avoid the youth from falling into debt traps. Like my first speaker said, psychological manipulation. Psychological manipulation works in such a way that the products actually appeal to the youth or the concentrated audience. But let me give you another example. Advertisements mainly appeal to the people. Like I'll give an example of the Nike advertisement, which is called Get Into the Madness. This Nike advertisement is actually features Erling Haaland, Kylian Mbappe, and Vinicius Jr. What are they trying to promote? They're trying to promote the Nike brand. And by doing this, when these shoes cost, let's say a father who is currently jobless or a person who is at the edge of the youth stage, who does not have a dependable source of income, like my first speaker said, where will he get the money to buy the shoes? Let's say 3 pairs of Nike shoes actually cost 10,000 shillings. Won't he actually go to a reliable source of money, which is debt? He will fall into debt just because of
the influence of the advertisement, the lifestyle that the people inside the advertisement live. Let's say a person has actually seen the challenges which Mbappe has faced, and is seeing that this guy is wearing this type of shoes which make him great. He'll say, I want to be like that, I want to be like this, like how this person said. They are your role models, but what do they support? They support actually lifestyle advertisement, and by doing so, they will actually promote debt in the youth. And I like also to say, like my speaker said, we tackle tasks only one at a time. So when we're dealing with the lifestyle advertisement, we can deal with it only with the regulating it. We are not restricting it. We can say advertisements are fine, but we're actually restricting it. He said when people actually show people, when advertisement like Versace, which actually show people who have low self-esteem, then they apply some fragrances, then have a higher self-esteem. When these make the low-esteemed youth of our time, the people who are in depression of our time, make them feel encouraged to try such models, to try such fragrances. But do you know that this is actually expensive? Either way, it will come in to have an economic impact on us. I am the Majid Yusuf, and I raise my case. Thank you.
Knowledge is knowing what to say, but wisdom is knowing when to say it. When I look at my temporal chronicle indicator, I just notice we've wasted 3 of another precious minutes listening to what I term as barbaric views. It seems our opponents did not understand the motion. 2 of our speakers have tried to let them understand, but it seems a barbaric person will always, forever be barbaric. You can never take medicine for a sick person, but our opponents are lucky today because I, Achesa Hamatron, from Team Vipers Vihiga Boys, is gonna do it for them. Allow me be your coach as I take you through the motion in strongly opposing what our opponents are saying. I wet my eyes with salted water from my tear glands when I see our word constantly moving at a super speed backwards. Our opponents are the exact reasons why this world is moving backwards. The moment they try to eradicate us, remove us from the trail, that's why we lose focus, and the propaganda they are giving is just nothing but mere rumors. I would like to accompany you in my first point, in that encouraging talent. Lifestyle advertisement encourages talent. The third speaker has just indicated the fact of Kylian Mbappe. There's a player who would like to be like Kylian Mbappe. When that Mbappe advertises the Nike pair of boots, I think the player would like to work hard to improve his talents so that one day he'll wear the boots like Kylian Mbappe. I'm sure our opponents would one day love to be great debaters, and feeling us right here by the debater circle will surely create a platform for us guys through lifestyle advertisement. I would like to rest my case by concluding that our Speaker 1 and 2 for Team Vihiga have given us the strongest solution available, and I'm sure the fallacies of our opponents will be a drop in the ocean. Oops, my bad. There's no case to really, as always, it has been I, the intrinsic contextuary Raxistana, Achesa Hamaton.
In a great sea lies a great ship, but what it lacks is direction. That is the same as the opposers who happen to come here and shower us with so much statistics with no sources. And that's why I, Deacons Wakulima, I'm back on stage to prove to you as to why we should agree to the motion on the table. To the second speaker, good point on peer pressure, but let me tell you something. The youth have been known to be susceptible to peer pressure compared to the adults. And remember, the youth comprise of 58.16% of the world population from American Physiological Association 2024 January. Enough with history. Now let me bring you to the brighter future in the present. Deceptive marketing prices practiced by the advertisements have actually used peer pressure to actually make the youths succumb to huge debts. Like he said, peer pressure, we agree, but peer pressure has also been impacted by the advertisement. Missing Kipchoge on the screens doing his advertisement of the new Samsung phone, then buying it with a debt. Isn't that the advertisement. With that said, I rest my case.
Back on a little recap to the ditch of treacherous diminutive fallacies that our opponents try to pose. Exactly as the Speaker 3 said, from the proposing side, that when this youth or this person see a protagonist in a commercial advertising something, he'll decide to go and get a debt so as to acquire the product being advertised or being told in that same commercial. That is why I stand here strongly to support my Speaker 2 from the opposing side and urge our opponents to stop beating around the bush. First to go towards it, get into it, and face what lies inside, leading us into a better Kenya, better solution, and even a better generation.
I wish to begin by commending both teams for the spirited debate. And Vihiga Friends School, thank you for enriching my language vocabulary. But I want to caution you, in every debate, always attack the argument. Avoid attacking the speakers. Do not, it is very risky when you come and accuse people of being barbaric, and you cannot justify that. Is that clear? Yeah, but then let me quickly rush to comment on the proposers. Jeremy Jacob, you are a very good speaker. I loved how you set the standards for your team, your definition of terms, and the fact that you are able to tie your points, and there was a clear flow. I was able to get psychological manipulation from you, and the justification was how Apple company advertisements always and manipulate the youth, so because they are portrayed as very luxurious products that every youth should have. But then my question would be, who says that Apple is a good phone? I don't own an Apple product, so where's the data that proves that Apple products are good? Your burden was to come and tell us what is the harm of regulating, that you guys are against regulating it. So fine, okay, we don't want to regulate this, then tell us, because you are for rather providing education in place of regulating it. So then we need you to tell us what the harm of regulating is, then run a comparative analysis of the two, so that by the time you leave that stage, we are able to see what the rest of your team members will be following up on. Jubilee Umudi, I hope I got that right. I equally loved the great and superfluous words that you used, but then I also need you to watch on your time consumption. And the fact that there's a point, an argument that you guys seemed to run along with, but these ones were able to rebut, but I didn't see any engagement with that. The 82% kept haunting you.
Just a very quick shot. What more did I expect from both teams? Examples of youth who have made it big time as a result of lifestyle advertising for Vihiga Friends. Chavakali, examples of youth who have fallen into debt traps as a result of lifestyle advertising. That could have given you a better score for mastery of topic. All the best to both teams.